Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Press Play, brought to you by 0 to 60. Today we got 3 segments. They're going to be on Urban Meyer's hire, the NBA updates, and also we got to talk about the NFL. It was a big weekend this past weekend. We'll be right back at you.
Jamison Williams. I attend Cardinal College Preparatory High School in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a wide receiver committed to the University of Ohio State. I see a lot of great things in Dr. Hayes. She get me loose when I'm running my routes. I feel agile. Also on the track, it's the same thing, so I'm really loose running my races.
I'm Dr. Connie Hayes with Fit for Life Sports and Rehab. If you want a competitive edge on the field, call me, 314-532-0957.
And we're back. I want to introduce my host tonight, my co-host tonight, Big Z Zelderman. What's up, Big Z?
Oh man, I'm ready to get to it, bro.
Hey, man, it was an action-packed weekend this weekend.
It's my Rams, man.
Yeah, I feel for you. We're gonna get right into it, man. The NFC Championship, the national, not the national, but the NFL Championship game this weekend.
Right.
Who do you got in this first one? Brady versus Rodgers.
I gotta go with Rodgers, man.
Yeah.
Like, of course, we know Brady is arguably the GOAT, you know what I'm saying, the quarterbacks, but this the matchup, bro, that we've been waiting to see. Like, so I remember a statement somebody said, these are the quarterbacks we grew up with, you know what I'm saying, grew up watching. The other quarterbacks we're going to see grow up. So we've been seeing these guys. We've been waiting for them to play. So you're going to Lambeau, Rodgers doing his thing, Green Bay defense looking slightly better than what they were first half of the season. So it's at home. I'm going to go with him. You can't count Brody out, but if I had to pick somebody, bro, I'm going with Rodgers.
Now, how do you think they're going to play in Lambeau with this magnitude of a game? It's going to be cold.
Yeah.
You're talking about the fans are not going to be a factor of this,
right?
But you're talking about the elements. Do you think these South boys about to come up there and play in that weather to the championship level to get them to the ultimate goal, which is the Super Bowl in Miami?
I think so because of who they got, they leader. Tom Brady, you see Bruce Arians threw a slight at Bill Belichick saying he let him coach, he let him be, you know, so you talking about a person who's been there 9 times, but been in the NFC or AFC championship 14 times.
Yes.
So he come from New England, so he know about playing in the cold. It ain't like Green Bay gets colder. So he's the consummate pro. He's a consummate leader. So he gonna get these boys riled up. They ain't never been in this position. So who else better to carry him out?
Yeah. But the last time they matched up, which is for me, I'm a Brady guy.
Right.
Like I like Brady. I like what he brings to the table as far as the leadership and
right.
how he works.
Right.
Like he just don't talk about. He actually works at what he tried to go out there and do, which
right.
he executed. We all know how many rings he has, but I'm still on the edge on this team that he has around him.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have enough experience
right.
around him besides himself and Grunt. Those are only 2 guys that I see on that roster that has played in games of this magnitude that knows this is not just another game.
Knows what it takes.
This is all for it all.
Yeah.
Can those 2 guys rally them up to go up there in Lambeau and ignore their environments and go out there and take down Aaron Rodgers, who's playing the best right now at their position, and take those boys down?
Man, see, that's the scary part about it. You never really want to count Brady out, but then you start to think, even with Gronk, it's like he was a great player, but do you actually take him serious for his leadership?
Yeah.
So it'd have been different if he was a Tony Gonzalez or a Shannon Sharp, because how they carried themselves. You know, Gronk just was able to play and really didn't have to just lead by his play and not through words. Yeah. So Brady then got to do all that, because even Bruce Arians ain't been there as a head coach. Yep. It's only Brady. Yep. Gronk been there, but Gronk ain't been the person that people are synonymous with being that leader and overcoming it. So all I think they need is Brady. But if I'm picking somebody, you talking about Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau for the first time. He like all I ever wanted was, and it's supposed to be snowing.
Yeah, it's
a
dream.
They got that 3-headed. Them boys running hard.
Yes, they are.
Aaron Jones, Dylan, them boys running hard.
Yeah.
So is Fournette gonna be ready?
Yeah.
Because they usually talking about Fournette, Devin White, all the boys from Louisiana and Florida. Are they gonna be ready? But I'm going with Green Bay.
We will see, because the last time they matched up against each other, the Bucks You know, they
they spanked him.
They kind of handed it to
Yeah.
him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, this is a different time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got more game film on you. You got more game film on me.
Yeah.
Who wins this chess match?
Right,
So I'm gonna
right.
ask you, who are you going with in that game?
I'm gonna go with Aaron Rodgers because you know I'm a Rams fan, and I seen when they didn't have Aaron Donald at full tilt, how he was able to step into the pocket, outside, get outside of the pocket, throw from any angle. Then you talking about the
don't
Bucks
have no one-
passing.
they
but
don't have no one on the
passing.
D-line that can compare it to
No,
that man,
No, they
so-
good for some run, but
Yeah.
you talking about they pass defense.
Yeah.
They pass defense. The Bucks pass defense is not that good.
Yeah. So we gonna take your Rodgers. I'm
Yeah.
gonna stick with Brady.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to this. You know, the game I really want to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
The Bills and the Chiefs. Buffalo looked really good last weekend,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
and I was more impressed defensively what they
Right.
were able to do with Lamar
Right.
than anything else.
Yeah.
Like I was really impressed with how they played defensively. What do you see, or what are your takes going into this weekend as a former player
Mm-hmm.
going to play the Super Bowl champs?
We know with anything, matchup makes fights, for lack of better terms. So you talking about the bigger question is Mahomes going to be available because he's still in concussion protocol?
That's a good question.
You're not beating him without Mahomes.
No.
Don't. Chad Henne ain't, no.
No.
Nah.
That little run he
Yeah.
had, you know, I was more nervous for him.
Exactly,
You know?
because think about it. You got Tre'Davious White, you got Norman, you got Hyde. They got DBs
Yes.
to match up with these guys.
Yes.
So everything is a matchup. So if you don't have Mahomes, that you ain't beating them.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what you try to see. You try to see they DBs against their receivers.
And so early in the year when they matched up, the Chiefs beat them in
Right.
Buffalo.
Right.
What do you think Buffalo learned from that game leading to this one?
I think they learned the magnitude of being in big games. Like, even when they played the Texans last year, that was their first time in what? Then in 20 years been in the
Yeah,
playoffs?
being in the playoffs,
Exactly. So it was different because no one had no expectations of them, even though they made it in as a wild card. This year, they was looked upon to make that next step.
Yep.
New England took a step back.
Yep.
We knew what the Jets was going to be. Nobody even expected Miami to be as good as they were.
Yep.
So everybody was looking to the Bills, like they say, expectations. It's different when you're not looked to be nothing, but when they expecting you to be good, and they played the Chiefs and realized, like, oh,
Yeah.
this the big leagues for
He-
real.
They're really good. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And, you know, what I took, it was more so, we here.
Yeah.
We have arrived, but we are not to that magnitude yet. But the progression of their season, man, I've been keeping my eye on them Bills all year. Just like, man, they got something going up there. And that quarterback looks more confident than a lot of quarterbacks I've seen as of late. You know what I mean? He looks like I'm ready to take that. And then he just got a guy on the outside that he feeds, man. You know what I mean?
Stephon is
He
the problem,
feeds it.
man.
And that makes that offense go. You know what I mean? I'm still on the edge with their defensively, but they look really, really good. And this weekend with the unsure Pat,
Right.
you know, the numbers in Vegas are going to be off the charts.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? When it
yeah.
comes to this, because Pat is the difference maker for the Chiefs.
You know what scares me is that Buffalo is not really good at the run, but the Chiefs really don't run.
They don't. I didn't see Le'Veon Bell.
Right,
You
right.
know
It's
what I
like,
mean?
is he-
Is
he
he
on the
on the roster?
Right.
You know, is he active?
Yeah,
Is
he tried
on
to throw a backhanded, he ran an out and up,
Yeah.
and he tried to put it on him. But it's like the things that they're weak at, the Chiefs really don't do.
Yeah.
And the things that the Chiefs strong at, that's what Buffalo made their name on.
Yes. Yes.
So that's a great matchup.
Yeah, man.
And
It's-
Josh
it's-
Allen
it's-
looking like Ben Roethlisberger, a young one.
A young one with a little more leg
Yeah,
power to
that's a
get
big-
down
that's a-
that
that's a
read
big
run,
guy, man.
You know, so it's interesting this matchup going into the weekend.
Yeah.
But you know, I wish Pat well on
Yeah, definitely.
his help to make sure that he can get back and have a fighting chance for this weekend. But we shall see.
Yeah.
You know, I'm taking my Chiefs. Who
Oh
you
yeah,
taking
oh
in
yeah.
there?
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs too. You know, definitely if Pat Mahomes is there, but I really want to see him at full strength. I don't want them to kind of. Honestly, I would rather them not play him this year than have those lingering concussions, i.e., Steve Young,
Yep. Yep.
guys of that nature. You rush back,
Yep.
and now you're dealing with concussions. That could shorten his career. So if he ain't ready, don't sacrifice just trying to get back to the Super Bowl for this man's career. Just
Yes.
if he can't make it back,
Not when you just gave
take
him all
it.
that money.
Exactly, 10 years.
We're going to wrap this up, man. We'll be right back at you from 0 to 60.
I'm Jamison Williams. I attend Cardinal College Preparatory High School in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a wide receiver committed to the University of Ohio State. I see a lot of great things in Dr. Hayes. She get me loose when I'm running my routes. I feel agile. Also on the track, it's the same thing, so I'm really loose running my races.
I'm Dr. Connie Hayes with Fit for Life Sports and Rehab. If you want a competitive edge on the field, call me, 314-532-0957.
Welcome back. We're going to get right into this next segment. The hire that the Jaguars have with Urban Myers, does it make sense to you?
Oh, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. I like it from the standpoint, you bring him in, new regime, everybody's gone. He can bring his people in, salary cap, and you got 2, maybe 3 quarterbacks. You're talking about Justin Fields. You're talking about Trevor Lawrence that can actually change the dynamics of a program or organization. Why not?
You mentioned someone that's crazy that he may end up back with someone that recruited him from the University of Georgia.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that until now, so that makes perfectly good sense on, okay, you hired this guy with already a young team. And that's one thing that I can't say about the Jack. They are a very young team, with a few veterans.
Right.
But to hire him gives me confidence that they're going to allow him to build. So that leads to my next question is, who do you take with that pick?
You got to go with Trevor Lawrence.
You
man.
sure?
Now, but you got to realize he was recruiting both of them. He tried to recruit Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields.
Yeah.
But Trevor Lawrence, of course, went to Clemson.
Yep.
And Justin Fields went to Georgia. Even though
afterwards.
Jake Fromm and them was already there.
Yep.
And then he transferred. So he got an understanding of both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What I like about what the Jags did that you don't think about until you look back is that they got rid of what they consider malcontents. You see what I'm saying? They got Jalen Ramsey.
Yep.
And wasn't that Mdici, the end,
Gone.
Calais Campbell. They got rid of a lot of those old guys who was already doing Leonard Fournette.
Yes.
They got rid of them.
Yes.
And now, so that means he can come in, and now he comes in as if he's coming in Ohio State, bringing his own way of doing things, and ain't got to try to, okay, how do I cater to him? Because what stars do they have there? They got some good players.
They got some good players.
But they don't have no stars.
No star. Yes.
So now it ain't too many egos. He's the biggest draw out of all of them, other than whatever quarterback he's going to draft. So it's a perfect
that makes
storm.
perfect good sense of the moves that they made previously leading up into it. 'Cause, you got a guy like Ramsey. We see what he brings to the table as a player, but the antics, that don't sit well with a lot of other people. The Fournette was a shock for me. I didn't, that guy. You gave him a lot of money as a first round draft pick. You put a lot into him. He had a hell of a rookie year. So I didn't see that move coming, but it made sense now.
Right.
When you were talking about bringing in a whole new regime.
Right. And bringing in a new culture.
Now I can create a culture without what we call cancer.
Right.
We all call it. We all have it in some way.
Right.
It can be something that can grow.
Yeah.
And I feel they was like, man, let's weed this out early. You know what I mean? So, what would be the identity for him in this new regime down there?
I think with anything, I think it depends on which quarterback he drafts. If he draft quarterback Trevor Lawrence, he sit in the pocket, throw. However, he's kind of like Josh Allen.
I was just, that's a great comparison.
You'll think he can't, but he'll get out there.
Get out there on you.
Right, he'll get out there on you. And honestly, man, I mean, even with Justin Fields, with what Lamar did, it would bring pause. It's bringing, because it ain't, even though you think Justin Fields is a better thrower, but both of them run. So if you get Trevor Lawrence, then now you're thinking about, because they still got the Rams first round draft pick for Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey, yeah.
Right. They got over at least $72 million, from anywhere from $72 million to $100 million. No state taxes. He can go any way he wants. any way he wants.
It'll be very interesting how he used those picks,
Right.
and what he does with that cap that he have. You know what I mean? That will make a world of a difference, man. Because you can go and draft your first round guys, but you might can spend $50 million on glue guys.
Yeah.
Not so much a superstar.
Right.
Get the glue guys that
Right.
you can have come in, and these guys know how to be a professional,
Right.
know how going about
Right.
doing things the right way to help such a young group. And that's I think this group needs leadership, which is going to start with him. But following up, you got to make sure you get some.
But you know
guys
what the
that
blessing
respect
with
him.
him, because it's a gift and a curse, is that he's been a talent evaluator for so long,
Yes.
getting guys out of high school.
Yep.
So the guys that's in the draft, he know them.
Yep.
So
done
he's
seen
like
it.
Jimmy
Yeah.
Johnson.
Yes.
That's how he knew to go get whoever he was getting, because he's like, I either coached against these guys, or I was trying to recruit these guys, so I know them. So that's a bonus if he can use that right.
Yep.
Hit on that first, second, third round, steal some in the fourth and fifth. Oh man,
It
it's
ought to
good.
be interesting to see how him and that GM works together.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean? Like him and that GM and the head scout guy, how they work together would tell, I would say 2 years from now,
Right.
what the moves were that's going to happen coming up. You know what I mean? These moves now is going to affect what happens in 2 years from now.
So who would you go with? What quarterback?
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a tough one. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But for me, moving forward they got Conley, the former chief
Mm-hmm.
wide receiver down there, and I like him a lot. I would go with more of a passing quarterback. You know, they're in the AFC. You playing Tennessee,
Right.
guys of that sort. Like
Right.
you know what I mean. You got to be able to have a guy that can really.
And Deshaun's still there for how long? We don't know. But
We
he's
don't
still
know.
there.
That's another question
Yeah,
in there, because if I can make a power move and trade 2 first-round picks for someone like him, I may do that. You know, I
Yeah.
got the cap,
Yeah.
and I also got some picks to play with,
Yeah.
so that may be a move that can be put out there as well. So, for me, I say Trevor Lawrence.
Of course,
You know
of
what I
course.
mean? To build my team around, I say Trevor Lawrence. He's done a great job his 3 years at Clemson. He showed that he can step up in big games, even as a young player when he did at Clemson. But I'm going with Trevor Lawrence.
You know, some of the knocks on them guys like Trevor Lawrence, like Justin Fields, is that, like Baker, they say they played with so much talent that these guys was wide open. So can you fit those winners? See, Josh Allen, he wasn't playing with, he was in Wyoming.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing with major talent. Louisville, it was just Bobby Petrino with Lamar Jackson. He was so dynamic offensively, he can scheme.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But can Trevor Lawrence do that when he don't have the best receivers? When he don't have one of the top running backs? That's the thing. Can Justin Fields do that? So them be questions that be asked too.
As we wrapping it up, Urban Myers have made some great quarterbacks in his time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this goes back to Alex.
Yeah.
When he was up there at Utah State.
Yeah.
He done had some quarterbacks
Yeah.
where he have made them who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can see him being a true developer of someone like Trevor Lawrence, who got the tools and mechanics.
Okay.
We're going to wrap this up right here. We'll be right back at you.
Yeah, because he,
Just One Taste is moving on up. Located now in the heart of Florissant, 18 Patterson Plaza, serving the best chicken, fish, shrimp, tripe, and soul food sides. We also have catering and food truck services. And after one taste, you will be a customer for life.
Hello, I'm Simeon the Mortgage Man with Bank Midwest Mortgage. I have over 20 years of experience as a mortgage banker, and our state-of-the-art secure online mortgage center allows you to conveniently submit your application and documents online. Call me now at 314-485-9838 or apply online at SimeonTheMortgageMan.com. Allow our family to help your family reach your goal of home ownership. Simeon the Mortgage Man with Bank Midwest Mortgage.
And we back. There was some interesting moves made last week, man, with Boston, not Boston, but Brooklyn.
oh man.
There was some hell of a moves made, man. Tell me how you think this is going to shake up there in Brooklyn with James Harden and Kyrie and KD. Like, how is this going to work up there?
If it's James Harden, KD, I'm with it. Kyrie, I was just, you know how you just look at the landscape.
How is
everything.
he the lonely man out right now, man? He's still an all-star, man.
Nah,
Like, he's still a pro.
Yeah, to me, I think he's a superstar. But we get to talk about the mental.
Yeah.
But you know that being and playing D1 and playing in the NFL, a lot of the game is mental.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Because you only have longevity when your mental was intact. Because the athleticism will show wane. But so he never had to play number 3 ever, ever.
Yep.
See, James Harden know what it is to be the number 3 because he was a 6 man.
Yep.
So he worked his way up
To be who he is.
to
now.
be who he
Yep.
is. Kyrie always been that person. What, he played 3 games at Duke?
Yeah.
And still went number 1?
Yeah.
So he never had to play second fiddle. You see, he didn't even like that with LeBron. Then we say it's maturity.
Yep.
How can we not question his maturity when the things he's been doing that's been immature, not communicating? So now you talking about this man come in dropping 33, 37, and he ain't even in shape yet.
That's scary, ain't it?
Right. And KD looking like KD.
Yeah, right.
So what you
right.
gonna do? You
Right.
want to be Kevin Love? Can you be Chris Bosh? Can you be Draymond?
My question is, can he be a true point guard?
James Harden saying he the point. He just said it.
That's
said-
going to be interesting to see
Yeah.
how that actually plays out.
Yeah.
Because right now, I'm going to ask you, in your eyes, how do they look without Kyrie?
I think they look better. I think they should trade him and get some more pieces. Because if DeAndre Jordan is in foul trouble, he's known to get hurt. He ain't the same DeAndre Jordan as the
So
Clippers.
what would be a place for you to send someone like that? Because he's going to require a lot of picks or
Yeah.
a
The
lot of
place where
moving
he
parts.
could have went, in my opinion, just right off the cuff, they can't do it now, it would have been Phoenix. It would have been Phoenix. You pair him up with Devin Booker, but of course Chris Paul and James Harden got a history. See, now if you was to get Chris Paul, a Chris Paul type, he not looking to score. He
Nope.
can just facilitate.
Yep.
Do everything, get everybody in place, but now they can't make that trade. So you think about it, he can't go to Boston. So who can you get? The other point guards is, they finna give who Darren Fox, he in his mode. So they damn is stuck with him.
Now, I think it's one place that you possibly can place him, but I don't know if they have enough. And I say Philly. I think Philly has a great young nucleus, but the question with Philly is Ben Simmons.
Right.
They gave him a lot of money,
Right.
but he's not producing.
But what would Ben Simmons do? Because they will try to swap him. So what would they have, a 3-team trade?
You would-
send
yeah.
Kyrie to Philly.
Yep.
So what would you send Ben Simmons?
Ben Simmons,
You see what I'm saying?
that's
Yeah.
a tough one. He might be in Orlando if you ask
Right.
me. you
Because
know?
but how Marquez Fultz playing? See, with him not
Which
shooting,
came from Philly,
right?
you know
With
what I
him
mean?
not
So it
shooting,
would-
what do you do?
Yeah.
Now, I would love to see Kyrie in Philly with Embiid and go at Harden
Yes,
and KD.
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean?
Ben Simmons, man, if he could shoot, now you can move him anywhere.
Yeah.
But he needs to be able to run the team because he's only effective with the ball in his hands. And it's crazy saying that. He ain't Kyrie, but he played great defense and he can facilitate. Then he big, but he still want to do that, so he'll have somebody small on him.
Yeah.
Where you gonna go?
Yeah. I don't know if Sam Cassell is still assisting with Doc, but I made that statement because Sam Cassell's a real floor general.
Right.
And I seen how he helped Pat Beverly
Right.
the last few
Right.
years in LA.
Right.
He wouldn't do nothing but help Kyrie if Kyrie is willing to be a student.
But this the man that said we don't need a coach.
That's what, you know what I mean? It's
Like,
coming
who-
from.
what other point
You're
guard-
saying that to a point guard guy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
A point guard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
So it's like Kyrie.
that was a bold statement.
yeah, like you know who Steve Nash is, right?
Yeah.
Don't get it, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But, you know, needless to say, that's going to be a situation that we're going to be monitoring all year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that as much as I love it to work, I don't think it's going to work
Yeah.
at all. I think it is going to, at some point, become stagnant, and they're going to have to make a move. And it'll probably be after All-Star break.
Yeah.
They'll probably play this out, see how it works. All-Star break, go and make a move, or they can keep going in the direction they're trying to be going.
Because look who
I
they
don't-
gave up.
Yeah, they gave up a lot.
Jared Allen,
A lot.
Taurean Prince, Caris LeVert.
But you-
Dinwiddie is gone for the
Yeah,
year.
and them are guys, them are what I was saying about football. Them are
Right.
glue guys.
Exactly.
Those are not the guys.
Exactly.
They're glue guys. So they need to find more glue guys to do what DeAndre's going to be able to do for you and Jeff Green.
Right.
Those guys can't play those kind of minutes anymore. They're
Right.
on the back half of their
Right.
career. You know what I mean? So you need to find some young guys that can come in and give them some minutes, but also, you know what I'm saying, maintain a lead. You know what I
Right.
mean? I think they're going to jump out on everybody. But you got two of the best scorers
Right.
in NBA history on one team. They're going to score.
But the
a lot
Bucks
of
showed
points.
that they ain't playing defense.
And that's going to be,
Yeah.
again, you don't have a bench for you to do that. So you're going to have to try to score everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it'll be very interesting. Next question I have: what do you think about Atlanta and their MLK uniform?
Oh, I'm loving it, man. You was talking about Martin Luther King, Ebenezer Baptist Church, and them saying that he had a church down there, got a monument, got a place where you can go in and see it, and now for Atlanta to do it and actually have MLK, it brings back or how you to look at who he's been to us. Of course, we didn't grow up with him, but we grew up learning about him. And just to see how the NBA, just other than just saying MLK Day, they went a step further and actually transformed their jerseys to represent MLK. That's a big thing. That's a big move.
Yeah, I like that a lot, man. I think that's honorable of Atlanta and the city of Atlanta. But also to the NBA of just making that commitment to say, we're going to stick to what we have been preaching, from the racial injustice to things that have been going on in our world. We're going to continue to address it, but also we're going to celebrate Mr. Martin Luther King.
That commissioner, man, that kudos to him.
He gets it. He gets it. You know what I mean? He understands that I'm going to land. But let's get back into the basketball part. With the moves Brooklyn has made, that we Brian guys.
Right.
Who do you see as your title contender now?
On which side?
On both sides.
On both sides? Of course, you're going with LA. I like what the Clippers been doing.
Yeah.
But I like, when you start talking about playoffs, like all of a sudden, we forget about Boston. With Jaylen Brown and Tatum, they match up with them. And if Kemba can be anything of Kemba, he can neutralize Kyrie because now Kyrie, you ain't going to get as many shots as you used to. So Jaylen Brown and Tatum can go at, because to stop a person or to slow their offense down, you got to make them work on defense. Tatum and Jaylen Brown, because Jaylen Brown is steady coming up, they can make KD work. Harden really don't like playing defense, so they can match up. And they got other guys too that comes in and give them problems. Like even when they go small, even with the guy that comes from Tennessee, the little light-skinned guy, when he come in, he can play big, but he can shoot. So now what DeAndre Jordan gonna do?
And Boston caused more of a matchup problem because you have someone like Smart who can defend 1 through 3.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So he can go in there. He can, whether it's Kyrie, KD, or James.
He got 5 good fouls to give.
He plays hard. You know what I mean? He's one of them ones that I think could have played in the early 2000s. You know what I mean? He's that kind of hard-nosed guy. But it's gonna be real interesting in that East.
I like how the Bucks look like. We ain't fearing y'all. We ain't fearing y'all. Like we gotta come. We coming. So I like that. I like the East getting back to the old days.
It's gonna get real interesting. I never say that in the Jordan era, but you know we're gonna get. I appreciate you tonight. It's a great segment, man. You miss anything? Rewind it, press play, and we have it all back for you. Have a good evening.
I'm not.